Hello, and welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. This is Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, the RPG. Oh, got it in one. All right, and today we've got a full house. We've got Maitre, Derek, Melissa, and Jeff. Even Jeff, I know he misses so many sessions, and it's just like, where's Jeff? Jeff's here today.
I have so much PTO built up. It's ridiculous. Absurd.
You've maxed. You've stopped earning.
Yeah.
You're just like,
I want to cash it out. I can cash it out, and someone gives me $1 million.
Oh, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. So today we are partway through our 1997 tour of the Flesh Pit into the depths. Apparently there's a baseball game going on. Do we feel like our characters are, I know Harlan is, but do we feel our characters do money sports outside of Jeff, outside of Harlan?
I would say Crystal is up for anything and then never seems to get invited back when teams are created the next time. Like she's mighty, she's slow as shit, and she's not accurate at anything. So like maybe roller derby? Like I think maybe that was starting to come back in around 97.
I think you could be a linebacker because they don't have to do anything other than block people, right?
Yeah, that would.
I'm making Jeff twitch. I'm making Jeff twitch. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Yeah. So because of how Jeff is reacting, it sounds really right. It's more right the more I say it.
Yeah. Close the stream
down. Sports ball stuff.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Does KK do many sports or activities?
Not even by accident. Like, not even by accident will you catch KK doing sports.
Except she is going to have to participate in baseball or voluntarily get herself kidnapped by the Pibs for 2 days.
Sure. She'll stand in the outfield and be like looking at her nails.
Is Truff a sports guy?
I feel very fortunate because the only sport I actually played was baseball. So I'm just going to say that Truff is knowledgeable in softball and baseball because I know plays, I know terminology.
That's useful for this arc. That is the sport of the year. How many sports does Harlan do at this point?
At this point, like what do I do now?
Yeah. What do you do now?
I don't know. I would imagine I play in a little like sort of Sunday afternoon down by the park, kind of pick up football game, something like that with the old timers. That's probably what he does. Anyone else find it kind of interesting that we're playing baseball and not softball? Like usually, corporate types, when you get to a certain age, you play softball because like, the ball's bigger, easier to hit, throw it slower, all that kind of stuff.
The version of baseball in this corporate world tends to be a little bit more violent than the other one.
So they're not scared with someone charging the mound.
Well, they're not scared to like knock each other out and or kidnap each other for an edge in the baseball game. I think a little bit of hardball is going to be fine.
This is interesting. We'll see if we get there. What this game looks like in play.
Yes. All right, so let's roll into it. We're all good. All right, so Tourist Trap, my lollygagging crew of nitwits have been sent out to thin the herd of Pibs. Or people in black, if you just don't know that. We don't know nor care what government system they're part of, or we just need to beat them at baseball. Most of the Gumptioners have already turned up for the game and the 4th of July fireworks and the park barbecue afterwards. But I think they're looking for a little bit of blood. Unfortunately, the Pibs have already detained 3 of our park employees. So Tourist Trap have to make up those numbers quick. They've only managed 1 so far, according to their latest report anyway. On a side note, Who knew Farmer Jenkins of the naked helicopter dance was right? The PBSO is getting infected with some weirder shit than normal. Apparently some mushroom tentacles or something like this. All I care to say on the matter is that KK is leading the team on this investigation, so she better make sure to document this and file the correct semi-new species that we have to kill because it's invasive form, or else that's going to be marks off and maybe a pay cut. Yanya is leading Team Awesome right now and has managed to enter the main orifice. Him and his team snuck in. Hopefully, he will do a quicker job with the Pibs and taking them out. Lead park supervisor report out. All right. So, E04 suddenly Truff appears to have regained his soul and consciousness, having been strapped in the back of the Mark III vehicle that you are driving down this ridged flesh sort of tubular with sort of the wavy, sort of wispy thin, almost hair-like, identified correctly as shrooms, kind of helping guide you further down. Before we go through, anybody want any healing and or other things? Truff might need to be caught up on what the team has actually been doing, or comments being made about him in the last session.
I'm okay for healing.
That's good. Crystal, I believe you got healed by Harlan, and Harlan's doing okay over there?
So
no, we haven't done that yet.
No, okay.
Yeah, we just took our 10 seconds, take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 1,
Mm-hmm.
so I got back 3. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
You need a little patching up. Feeling okay?
I thought if I just caught my breath for a second, I would feel better, but I feel not a whole lot better, and I'm feeling pretty subpar. Actually,
there's.
Hold on, I completely forgot about my accent. What am I even thinking? I am so
I was quite concerned actually.
right
I
now.
thought you might have a head injury.
I am so tired, and I took a breath, and dagnabbit, I am still tired. So yeah, if you got something in that old first aid kit of yours, I think it could be useful.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, sure. Breathing's good, but you got to do it right. There's like a whole practice and an art to it. That Sensei Nick is.
You do it really
as
fast,
part of his karate
in and out of your
pedagogy.
nose, right?
Curriculum.
Like in and out of your nose, super fast. That's how you do it, right?
Whoa! What are you using your nose to breathe for? That's for sniffing and smelling. That ain't for breathing.
Well, I mean, you gotta, you just.
And if it was the 70s, it was something else too. But never mind. Anyhow, okay. So how much are you down? Again,
my might is down 5 of 12.
Okay. Let's risk it then. I guess I will try to heal her. For me, I'm just gonna do a normal heal as opposed to the.
Okay.
So the difficulty would be 5, but then I have specialization in healing, which should reduce it to 3, and I also have a first aid kit, which should hopefully reduce it down to 2,
which would make it a 6 or above.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that a go. Make sure there's nothing else here. I got some duct tape. Depending on the nature of the injury.
Dirt and duct tape. Here we go.
Okay. All right, here we go. Rub some dirt on it. Get. Oh, all right. That's a
Damn it.
You are rolling to try to heal Melissa, unfortunately, who's rolling ones on her recovery.
Stop breathing out of your nose. What's wrong with you? Stop.
Would I be able to offer friendly help here since he tried a task and failed?
Definitely. How does Truff come in and help with this task?
It's just duct tape and dirt.
Yes.
He's going to at least point to
tape.
He is going to at least just point to a Band-Aid and be like, sometimes when I have a cut or an injury, a Band-Aid can help.
Oh yeah, I guess I can give that a go. I mean, she got a concussion, but hey, yeah. I mean, we can just put it on her forehead. Maybe that'll work like osmosis or something. Yeah. Okay. Sure. All right. Let me try this again. That's 11. There you go. Hey. Well, look at that. Look at you, Truff. I'm proud of you. That's some real quick thinking there. Band-Aid. Who would have thought such a thing? Especially since it's just a brand. It's not an actual thing. We really just gave, free advertising.
What is the actual thing called? They've got a monopoly on that thing.
I think it's like a medical adhesive or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so it's like saying Kleenex. I need a Kleenex. No, you don't. You need a tissue. That's wrong.
If you were to put a number on it, how much better do I feel?
Oh, 5. I went for the whole shebang. That's why it was so difficult.
Hell yes.
All right.
I'm gonna impress Amber. I'm keeping Amber's baby. She's safe, out of harm's way and such. Breathing better now too. She's doing it the right way.
It just took me a little bit to recognize Amber's baby being Crystal. You mean Crystal? It's like not actually a baby, right?
30-year-old that you see in front of you.
Sure.
Yes, I understand now.
I feel like this whole breathing and looking straight ahead and not seeing double thing is doing better. So I do appreciate that.
Sometimes it's nice to see double so you can make sure you're seeing the right thing, because if you only see it once, it's like, oh, I don't know what it is, but you see it twice. Just telling you something.
Especially if it's money.
Most of the time I see double anyway, so it's just kind of a state of being since 1974.
Well, I hope that I've got a few more years ahead of me before that becomes a state of being. But Truff, you popped out at just the right time to help with this little healing going on here. Are you feeling better?
How much dirt is in your liver if you've been doing this since 1974?
I mean, I think he's been rubbing dirt on the outside. I'm not so much sure that the dirt is being rank by Harlan necessarily.
I'm not the medical expert here. I feel a lot better though.
I'm glad.
As we kind of refocus on the task at hand, as the car is moving itself, since Harlan had to take his hands off the wheel to go help Crystal, who would you say is navigating or kind of keeping a lookout, a vigilance even, for these wispy white mushrooms?
I think KK definitely is, because while they're talking, she is looking out and also kind of absently filling in the incident report forms just with made up shit.
Sure. And did you now, part of the stack of papers that you have, none of them were new invasive species that we're probably going to have to kill forms. You might have to make that one up, or get
doing a lot of making things up.
You can maybe get the fax machine going in the vehicle. Yeah, we did get phone service recently and faxing.
Oh my god.
So I need you to probably roll me give just a challenging, I'm going to call this kind of a speed test, because you're noticing something while it's kind of going by quickly while you're moving forwards.
Got it. So I do have a noticing investigative kind of skill. Wonder if that will come into.
Sure. Yeah. If you have noticing as a investigative skill, I'm happy to take that down to difficult. So that would make it a 12 instead of a 15 that you need to roll.
Okay. I also have That's all I have for abilities. Let me just check my equipment. There's nothing. I have my flashlight. Does that?
I'm not going to
that
take
help out?
flashlight for this one, I'm afraid. The
Okay.
car headlights are also illuminating the area.
Got
so-
it. Got it.
Yeah.
It ain't a
That's-
car. That's a little. Come on now. Calling it a
Yeah.
car, you know. It's like calling a space shuttle like a remote control airplane.
Do you remember what it is called?
Is it like an Eve?
No, the
EV?
Eve was the tourist safari vehicle. This one is Grumman Internal Anatomy Vehicle Mach 3, which is why I just call it the Mach 3 or Mark 3.
I just call it a grinder.
Okay, yeah.
It's the vernacular.
It's
all the
it's the
park
reason
employees
that
call
I
it.
didn't think anybody would remember the names. So sorry. I saw a dice roll by.
I got a 10.
Oh, and you had it at, I believe, difficult, which was a 12.
Yeah.
Does Truff want to, in some way, help so that KK can reroll here?
Yeah, if she didn't make it, I can use my friendly help
Mhm.
to give her another shot at it.
Yep.
Sweet. Thank you.
13
this time.
Just barely making it.
Thanks, Truff.
So, KK, as you're looking out at these sort of fungal mushrooms, just kind of a light line of them, you can start to notice that as it drives by, they're getting thicker at a rate that's almost indistinguishable, and you might have missed it. And then, just as you're noticing this, you hear a sort of scream, and then a howl, and then like a groan, all from the same creature. This is a sound you recognize pretty quickly. So the grasp owl is a common critter down in the flesh pit. It was an owl at one point in time, but like all creatures that end up down here, it got kind of a gaunt anatomy shape, mostly pale, no feathers to sort of talk about anymore. It's still got the large eyes for some reason, even though it's dark and unnecessary down here, and its head still swivels. But these guys have a sort of a castration period of about 7 years where they're just larvae, and then they break out of their eggs, violently mate and die in about 10 minutes, and then lay eggs and die. This is an incredibly long period of being in a weird larvae egg and then screaming. So you hear this sound, and it happens every couple of years. So you've had it happen before. And you see up ahead, suddenly this tunnel is opening up, and you're in almost like this oval, smooth, vibrating cavern, and you see kind of a squadron of gas bowels kind of overhead, and then you realize along the ground this thin layer of wispy mushrooms has gone from the side down to the ground, and it's spread out into this like 100-foot radius just meadow of mushrooms. And in the air around you, you also see what is called bouillon, which are these floating balls that just appear almost like balloons, and they just kind of are floating around, bumping into each other. But you've got this whole cavity where all of this stuff is, this cacophony of events is happening all at once. Harlan, I'm going to need probably a drive test to quickly stop the vehicle from continuing into this area. Let's say this is going to be how do you think Harlan's been paying attention to driving, or do you think he's been kind of not as focused recently?
I think he's been driving. Yeah, he likes it. He likes driving. It's where he can really center himself, you know.
Fair enough. So instead of formidable, I'll say intimidating. So we're at a task difficulty 6 right now.
All right. I'm assuming driving, obviously the PBSO driver stuff will come into play.
Yep.
Speed
Brings it
test,
down.
I'm assuming.
Yep.
So we're at 4, right? So I'll All right, yeah, I'll go down. I use a little effort.
Sorry. 6, 5, 4. Yeah, you're at 4.
Okay. I'll take it down to I'll go ahead and just use all 5 so I can get it down to a difficulty 2.
Okay.
I don't want to get us all in trouble.
So 6 or above.
Everyone, hold on to your butts.
Yep.
And yeah. So speed test. Here we go. That's a 10. There we go. That's a success. Okay.
Perfect. So Harlan, you pull the Mark III to the side, sort of careening against the wall, which vibrates with the screws, kind of pushing you back out a little bit. And you manage to sort of get a circumference around the meadow of mushrooms. You manage to avoid touching these guys as you come to a stop. I'm going to say, Crystal, give me, I want just an intelligence check. This is a visual thing, so I'm going to put it at, this is also going to be a challenging thing because there's a lot going on right now. So it's starting at a task difficulty of 5, but it's a visual event.
All right. I don't really appear to have anything that's going to help with this. Or hinder. I think this is just pretty straight intellect. So I will spend 2 to bring that down 1 step, and then I'm gonna give it a roll.
Go for it. Luckily, Truff is here to help re-roll. Already been here and helped re-roll 3 times.
I work my magic.
You work your magic. 1 more roll, please, Melissa.
Sometimes there's just no helping some people.
All right.
Truff, I appreciate you pointing in the direction, but my eyesight is not improving by knowing where to look. I still have shit eyesight.
Maybe you are distracted because KK is saying to you, hey, listen, when you introduce Harlan to your mom, maybe you could introduce me to your sister Amethyst.
Oh my word. Can I just like live my life and just
could you just also introduce me to your sister while you're living your life?
I don't see what's out. No.
It's okay, Crystal. I don't want to date any of your family members.
You know what? I am surprisingly appreciative that that is a sentence that brings me comfort. I did not think that it would. It sounds on the surface like it might be insulting. However, given the current circumstance, I actually find it worthy of appreciation.
So, Crystal, while you've turned around, completely ignoring anything outside, Harlan probably maybe turned a little bit in his seat as well. Truff and KK kind of like looming to the sides. You start hearing some bombardment onto the outside of your vehicle. It is going to take, let me just double check how much damage. These guys, okay, so it's not that much. They're just going to do, you hear sort of, if we were to quantify it, maybe 2 points of damage on your vehicle out of 18, if we had to put a number on things.
However, 2 loud bangs.
If we wanted to put a number on things, we have 2 armor, which I actually think would mitigate that 2 damage.
Okay, so I'm going to say, because of the failed noticing of the things, we'll say that 4 of them hit and 2 of them got damaged through to the vehicle. I do see the 2 armor. Gotcha. I will take it into consideration next time. Your car is currently at 18. You might need to get outside and take a look at what the fuck's going on. Or look out the window.
I mean, Harlan will go out. It's his baby. You got to protect a grinder. I think someone's slapping some balls against it. Let's go.
I think I can lead the charge.
So as Truff and Harlan kind of like elbow each other out of the way to see who gets out of the grinder. Are we calling it the grinder?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right. Well, at least it's not an app yet. As we come out the grinder, this door kind of opens, Back to the Future style, where the top kind of pulls out, and you guys have the sort of this cavern, this almost like the inside of a liver cavern. You see, as you look to the side, a bunch of grasp owls that you normally they just like hang out with themselves, are actually, now that you're outside, you can see that they actually have some of these wispy white mushroom stalks coming out of them. Their heads have sort of almost pure white, almost fur or hair that shouldn't be there. You should just be seeing these little featherless gaunt flesh owls, and they seem to be just like jumping down from wherever their eggs are hatching in the ceiling, bombing themselves onto the top of this vehicle and just splattering everywhere. I don't know that I can say the S word on Twitch, but that one. But yes.
You have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know which S word you mean.
I got you. It took me a second to get there. I was thinking naughty. Oh wait, no, it's not naughty. That's
not naughty.
That's not the
naughty.
S word. It's the other.
The one that you're not allowed to say.
We can say shit all the time. It's a different one.
Like
no.
Saliva?
I just had to think about the terms and conditions here. It would be
What is it, Ryan?
One of the predecessors to a zygote.
I don't know.
Yes,
so,
that would be the one.
I had to type it.
Okay.
I had to type it in our private chat.
Thank you, Jeff.
I thought you guys were RPing for a second, and I was like, oh, no, you're really not.
No.
So I'm pretty sure I can't say that word on Twitch. So
we want to help them land elsewhere. We want to like make a netting of some kind so they don't land on the thing. What exactly are we as our goal?
That's up to you. Do you want to protect the vehicle? Do you want to try to preserve the gas bowels? As you kind of look out in this field, you see probably another 10 of them just starting to wiggle out of these eggs in the top ceiling section, maybe a tiny little nodulous cavern that they're pulling themselves out of. And they look premature now that you're seeing them. They're smaller than they should be. And these mushroom stalks, you can see this 100-foot, I guess 200-foot with the diameter of it, radius of just mushrooms filling this area. You're barely on the cusp of where it's not reaching, but it has sort of started to grow up and around, and you can see that it has reached this nest. And it is up to you what you want to do, but you do see more of these owls are starting to come out, and you know that they're going to be dropping on your car in a second here.
So a couple things. Let me know if this is okay to do, Gipser. One of my props is filament wall, which is a wall of webbing 30 feet by 30 feet.
Nice.
I wonder if I might use that to protect the vehicle. And also, could I use my Tinker, which is an intellect spend, to like get the vehicle moving again?
Oh, interesting. Okay, sure. So let's start with your netting. We'll do this one action, and then the tinkering is going to have to be a second action. Yes, this is one of your prototypes, right? You said?
Yeah.
And it's a 30-foot radius, and you're going to put it over the car, or are you going to make a net at where the owls are jumping out of, or?
Well, I mean, I feel like Truff and one of the other two can probably help. Like, I feel like it's carried, so I.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So yeah, no, it can. what your imagination sees is what it's going to be. So if you see a large net that you can kind of like fold out and lift up and carry, I was thinking a net gun myself, is all. And yeah,
that works for me.
Yeah,
I'm good either way.
But yeah, you can kind of like get it over top of, maybe it has like poles that you can put it up on really quickly. It may be the help of Harlan or Truff. Let's say this is going to be a speed check then to set this up. Okay. It shouldn't be that challenging. This is a prototype device. So yeah, just like a 3, a demanding. So it would be a 9 or higher.
Let me just, give me just half a second to see if I have any things that can help, because I think I might have one thing that can help.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, I have hand to eye, which is a spend of 2 points. But it basically gives me an asset to any task involving manual dexterity.
Yeah, this would be manual dexterity, so that would bring it down to a 2, which means a 6 or higher.
Sweet. I also have no, I don't have anything else that I can argue.
All right, you gotta roll. I know the dice haven't been great for you guys today, but sometimes
have not. Oh, good. I'm so glad I got a 2. Can I do a grit reroll?
My gosh.
You can spend one of your grits. Truff, you have something like
friendly help,
6 or 7 grit right now. And I put a little a table on Forge to tell you the spend points on the top left section. But yes, KK, you can absolutely do a grit reroll right now. Spend as much grit as you want. The audience should be giving you okay,
and that is a 7.
There you go. So nice. 1 over, you manage to sort of line up this net. You get it over your car. You sort of pull out these standing poles that allow you to put it up above and create almost a protective tent over top of the entire vehicle. And as you do, you hear plump, 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 as more of these owls seem to fall down on top of it. And instead of kind of splattering, you do see them kind of still moving around. They're screaming. It's a cacophony of it's almost human-like in how piercing it is as they expand on how upset they are by having been born.
Yeah. Gotta know that feeling.
While this is happening, Truff, Harlan, Crystal, you see all of these mushrooms. You see these sort of balls. They're just kind of floating around. If you'd like to identify anything, or you can try to deal with more of these grass bowels as more are falling into this net.
I am better with the technology of things, so if there's like repairs that I can do to the grinder, that would be kind of probably what I would.
Sure, yeah, if that's your initial sort of
anodyne tech repair.
Tech repair. So this would be just challenging. With anodyne tech repair, you bring it down to 4, which is difficult. Anything else?
Inability with hand-eye coordination.
That would be the opposite. So that would bring it back up to challenging.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll on a 15?
Oh dear. Oh dear. I do have a bag of light and heavy tools.
Oh, okay. There we go. That's the bullshit I'm listening for. 12 or higher.
All right. And this is a intellect, or am I?
Yes, it will be intellect.
Intellect. All right. Let's see how this goes. That's a 15.
There's a 15. There you go. You would have made the other one as well. So with the 15, you kind of do this quick check around the vehicle. You look under and over, and you see sort of essentially the splatter of purple and blue, the guts of these grass bowels. They don't get enough oxygen to make their blood as red as a human would be for some reason. It comes out weird down here. And you can see from this blood there the white hairs of this shroom, this invasive shroom, are starting to grow on the exterior of Grinder. And the holes that have been left by the grass bowel bodies hitting it have created small dents. And you can see almost like they're a hive mind or something intellectual going on here. The mushrooms seem to be like pushing into that hole more.
So like they're working together to be destructive to the Grinder?
Yes. So with your 15 challenging roll, you can you have small and light tools. I'm going to say you can probably scrape them off right now, but it's and you can see that the spokes had some more of this wisp fungal matter in it, and you managed to pull those out. So you're pretty sure your car can keep going, but it might start to regrow unless you use something to stop it from doing this, or you guys can push on and hope to find something later on that will help with this.
So I mean, if there's nothing else, I could take some no, I don't think that would work. Anybody got something like that I could just spread over the like hubcaps of this thing so that the stuff couldn't like get in? Like anybody got some like I got bubble gum, but I can't chew and spit bubble gum that fast to cover like all these hubcaps. But anybody else got some like something that might work?
So that'll be Crystal's like quote unquote turn
I got
for now.
Grit.
And
I got grit.
You do have grit.
I'm gonna spend 4 of my 7 grit
to
say I got a thing in this scene that is gonna help me. So,
great.
Game Master, what kind of a thing could I have that I could spread over the middle parts of this that would keep the stuff off it?
As you consider that, and I might as well just say lube since we're talking about
right
off. As you kind of consider and talk to your friends about what you're seeing, you remember and reach into your backpack and you pull out this sort of fast hardening gel. Right now it's in a airtight container, but you know as soon as you kind of like spread it on something, it will harden and keep anything else out of it. Or if you cover the follicles of mushrooms, they will not be able to break out and continue to grow. You'd be kind of containing them as an alternative. Now it is only a bucket, but you can definitely get it over any part of the vehicle specifically. There you go. 4 grit points. You can either contain or protect with this thing.
Oh, I think protection seems like the better route to go. And so she is like fumbling in her bag and she's got a couple different spray cans. And she like, first she grabs her like metal death that when she sprays it, it like dissolves the metal into glass. And then she's like, oh shit, that is not the thing that I want to do, because then that would turn our wheels into glass and they would break. Wrong one. I should label these better, because like it was like metal killer and metal protectant, and I should do a better job with the labeling of that. All right, here we go. Harlan, I'm gonna spray up all these, and then they're gonna be protected, and then we might want to GTFO after that.
Fair enough. So with Crystal's grit spend and creating more of a protective coating, I'll say that will heal the 2 damage I did earlier on the vehicle and stop the fungi from being able to enter in any weakened part of the car.
Yes.
Let's see here. Then we've got Harlan and Truff. Do you guys have any actions you'd like to take at this point?
So we're just trying to mitigate and limit the amount of damage to the grinder. The only thing I could think of that could be helpful here is
the grinder is pretty protected. You could.
But I mean, you're saying as we continue to go, or are we saying the net will cover anything else falling off this?
As long as you move out, the net is probably going to have to stay here. I believe it's set up to collect and catch the grass bowels as they are dive bombing onto the area right below. You just happen to park under where they had been birthed in their little like nesting pod of flabby eggs that they're breaking out of. And as you drive off, you should be fine from them. It's just moving the vehicle right now. So that's a possibility. You can identify things. As you kind of look up, the grass bowels that have been caught in the net have started their full mating ritual, which includes the females breaking open the skulls and eating the innards of the male grass bowl before dying of exhaustion after laying eggs. Yeah, it's a real pleasant thing. Yep.
Yeah. Nature's beautiful.
Nature's beautiful. The sort of the shrooms, you can see them almost like they're turning towards you. You could see and they are getting thicker, and sort of where they were almost see-through before, they're definitely more white and more formed. Some of them have started to have veins of red in them within this sort of cavity, and then the little floating balloons for fun. You do see on the far end another opening.
Yeah, so the only things that I was thinking of that I could be any help with is if there was still risk of more stuff falling on top. I was thinking of slamming the hammer into like the wall to create a vibration like something's coming, so they preemptively drop. But that seems like a moot thing at this point if it's not problematic.
Yeah, no, you're protected from falling things from above at this time.
I don't think there's anything I can contribute then unless I miss something.
Okay. You can start the car. You can just continue to give everybody the help action, which they've been using you for permanently this whole session. And we can just let Harlan start to drive, unless, I'm just opening it if you want to investigate anything for information as well.
I didn't have anything. I'm pretty focused on getting the car getting like up and ready.
And I mean, we've already been shamed that we've only got one pib, and there ain't no pib in this room. So it seems like we got to keep moving, because that is apparently like priority numero uno is.
Yeah, we can keep moving, but we got to keep an eye on them like white thingies. They seem to be spreading and such. We could get some kind of like manufacture some sort of like blowtorch or whatever. See if we can kind of scourge them things off. I mean, we don't need them right this second, but like where we're going, pretty sure we might be seeing more of them.
Yes. So I'm going to say, Truff, why don't you just give me like an intelligence roll? We'll make it challenging as well, which should be a 15. And we'll see if I'll just give you some more information.
Hold on, I'm looking through my abilities to see. Would intellect, defense, or...
That's going to be important in a second here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but in a second.
I don't think I have anything.
No worries, just roll, see if you get a high number, and maybe I'll give you some stuff.
Well, I have an edge in intellect, so I can spend 1 point to reduce it down, right? Or is it
2 points?
You spend 2 points.
2 points.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. So I need a 12. That seems slightly better.
May the odds ever be in your favor.
I click the button. Nothing happened. Let me click it again.
Oh,
that means you can just pick the number you want it to be.
I rolled a 12. Believe it.
Hold on. Let me... Oh, there it goes. Oh, that's 5.
All right, I'd like to help myself.
Can you do that?
I don't see why not. I can do it at dinner time. Why not here?
You've got like 7 grit points. Why don't you bring yourself down to 6 and re-roll?
Okay.
I also have enable others.
That was a terrible idea. Can we
Yeah. All right. that was 4. That was 1 less than what you did.
I set the grinder on fire and burn us all to death. I'm kidding. Just saying, our rolls are pretty much going in that direction.
Yeah, this
It would
is
seem.
not a good roll. So, Truff, you not noticing anything kind of hustle KK and Crystal back into the vehicle since it's clearly ready to continue going with absolutely nothing else going on in this room at all that you can notice. Harlan, would you like to shuffle in and keep driving or anything else?
He looks around, tries to see if he can kind of sort out where them white things are coming from. Those little squiggly things. Is there like a pattern maybe? Like, do I see them coming out of, you know?
Give me
something like
that challenging roll yourself. So that was the 15 that I gave Truff.
Okay, now I've got perception. Would
I'll
that,
bring that down to
apply?
12. Yeah.
All right. And definitely karate would not be.
No.
But there is wisdom as part of the teachings. So
Mhm.
no, you're right. You're right.
Mhm.
I don't got any. I got a flashlight. You said no to a flashlight before, but I'm just throwing
No.
it out there.
Okay.
Binoculars.
Good for you to have gear. Ooh, binoculars.
Ooh.
Okay,
I'm
that's
sorry.
legitimate.
It's pronounced binoculars.
Binoculars.
That's how we pronounce it.
I'm
in
not going to
old
give it to
Gumption
you if you
lands.
call it bio. All right, yeah, I'd say that
Jeff's
brings
not
it
gonna-
down to a 3.
Okay.
Binoculars would count.
Okay. And he's like, KK, give me a hand out here. Can you see where these things are coming from? As he's trying to bait out KK's little help. Like, can you see this?
Yeah, can
Looking over
I
there.
support with biology or anything?
Sure, yeah, I'll allow that. So that brings us down to a standard, which is a 6 and above.
All right,
Hell
here we
yes.
go. You ready?
Let's see if this is low enough for the rules that they've been today.
Hell yeah. That's a
I
five.
would like to imagine this is KK handing Harlan a little flask of moonshine.
Oh. I didn't mean that gonna help, but I ain't gonna turn that down.
So as you get slightly drunk and miss the standard requiring a 6 and above by 1.
Oh man.
But KK's helping, so he can re-roll.
Yeah,
Nope.
or a grip. No, that's
No,
that's
That's
Truff.
Truff.
That's Truff. That's
Truff.
right.
Yeah.
Does my
point?
enable others come into play? Because it's not manual. Never mind.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't know.
Nope.
All this-
absolutely
Okay.
nothing interesting is in
This
here
white
at
squiggly
all.
stuff is just
Yep.
a mystery to us. And
Yeah.
like I said, we got to find more Pibs, right?
Absolutely.
Right? More
I will
Pibs?
say what is obvious, even without needing to roll for it, is the fact that the mushrooms do seem to continue down
they're
the
backwards.
down the other tunnel. So it is obvious that you do see more down that way. But absolutely nothing interesting at all is happening here.
Yeah, let's just get it going. The quicker we get this done, quicker we can get up, and quicker we can
All
get
right.
Amber and
So
Amethyst. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So
quicker we get to the baseball game.
So I
Okay.
need 2 types of rolls as you guys kind of turn away from this scene, having noticed nothing. The fungal colony has been sort of pushed back from the car, but you sort of see some light spores start to kind of float up from it as it's doing one last attempt to kind of bring you to them. I need I think this is going to be a might roll of, this isn't going to be hard because you have pushed them back. This is just a standard might roll. So this is 6 or above. And then the bad
you
one.
have been paying attention to the difficulties tonight that we've had in rolling. To say, this is going to be too hard. This is going to be impossible. Okay, you said?
Yes, it's going to be might. It is a standard roll, 6 or above. 2. There's task of 2.
Can I say karate applies here? As it is of physical fitness and strength, balance.
Yeah, I'll allow it for this. This is like a mental/physical fortitude in a way.
Well, I am specialized in karate, so that's like a 2.
Okay. So you're bringing it back
nice.
down. All right.
what I
yeah.
do.
Nice.
You got this.
Yeah.
All right, here
All
comes
right.
the 2. That's a 15.
And
Look, where was that a
15.
second ago?
So you feel like these sort of almost red white spores burn your nose and just like wipe it real fast and pull it out, but you don't feel anything. Nothing's connected. I would also like KK, Truff, and Crystal to give me that same roll for that same reason. I am willing to hear. So it's a might, it's a standard.
I don't believe I have anything that would assist me in this.
The 2 that I think may come into play are biology and remembering things I've experienced before.
You haven't experienced this before. Biology it is, but yeah, I would lean towards intellect for that one. I'm willing to take it. You rolled a 9 anyway, it looks like. Or
That
was
was
that
me.
Crystal?
No,
That was me.
Mel.
Sorry.
Oh,
I knew I
okay,
didn't have
no,
anything to
absolutely no
add, so I
worries.
just let it rip.
You just let it rip. Fair enough. Crystal, same thing. You kind of like wipe these weird white sort of bits of spore off, leaving little red trails behind. But you managed to get them off real quickly.
I'd like to think she's just like kind of bouncing around in the vehicle as we go. And so like not even intentionally, she's just like her arm hits the door and you just sort of see like in the process of all of this bouncing around, everything gets killed.
All right.
And then KK rolled.
I have a question.
I got a 3.
That's okay.
So-
I'm willing. I was kind of on the fence about biology. I'm willing to take it for a 3. I'll say you just passed, but you just like, you feel a bit nauseous. It's not affecting your health or anything like that. Truff, sorry. Yes, I'm willing to hear what you're saying.
So I have might defense, which is used for resisting poison, disease, and anything else that could be overcome with strength or health. Okay.
Yeah, that would be this. Yes.
I was gonna say if KK failed, I would have helped her by being like, just like
Just-
tough it out.
Just breathe better.
Wait, but Harlan just said not to breathe through my nose.
I just flexed through the
Flex
spores.
through. Yeah, that's a nut 20.
Hell yes.
Nice.
First
Nice.
perfectly like reasonable roll.
You just willpower your way.
Just
through
don't
the
let it
poison.
bother you. That's all.
Just don't let
You
it
just
bother
meditated.
you. That's
And
all.
let it go away. Oh,
And sort of now this is a little bit on what you think your characters would feel. Now the grasp owls like falling down and doing this whole mating ritual is a disturbing sight, as bits of their guts and sort of the gray matter of their brains sort of drips down through this net as they start laying eggs essentially above the vehicle in this sort of almost the chain of eggs you would see coming out of a frog, but these are large, and you can already see like almost wiggling like a little parasite bird in the middle of these balls, these giant sort of owl egg balls. This is a disturbing sight. It's an intellect attack to watch the grasp owls mate. So if you'd like, it's a level 7 intellect attack. I'm willing to say this stuff is kind of boring for my character, so I would reduce it just as personal opinion versus this is a shocking thing. And then if you fail it, I'm going to give you a conformity, not damage, which means that you're writing paperwork.
Okay.
This is your paperwork check.
Well,
So the stakes are low, but you're going to have to do paperwork if you fail.
Right.
oh my.
so difficulty. You said it. Difficulty 7 or difficulty?
Yep.
Okay. I am trained in intellect defense,
There we
and
go.
also,
Hey.
I resist mental shocks because I am cynical and I
Mhm.
expect the worst.
Perfect. This is the roll for you.
So that brings
mean-
it down to a 5.
I think 4, isn't it, with all those? Mental defenses
Oh,
and minus
only
2?
only one skill should
Oh.
apply. Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll just go down 1.
Okay.
So it'll be down to 6.
Which is an 18.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Give it a go. Oh, shit.
Oh,
shit.
my god.
Wow.
Harlan is the most cynical
20.
and
I was about to say, is this endorsing cynicism?
he's the
Yes.
most cynical about the mystery flesh pit. And honestly, it's the end goal is in sight. Crystal's mom and that date. And look at these beautiful bits of nature mating and doing their life. That's in that 20 on this to defend. So this is just the circle of life, just animals experiencing the true beauty that is reproduction.
Well, I'm definitely going to fail, so your major fact.
It's okay, your driver has succeeded. That's a big one.
Look at that. Just like the Nat Geo, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You go get her.
Oh no. All right. And who else would like to try to knock down the 7 into something else, or just roll it?
I don't think I have anything else.
Okay.
So
Don't worry, I have friendly help to offer. You at least get 2 chances
You do at least get 2 chances.
to roll a 21.
Yeah, I mean, like if you have anything, and Truff and Crystal, I'm willing to hear anything you guys have at the same time, right? Like I know this is pretty high.
So I do think this is kind of mundane for KK. Like,
okay.
I think she spends a lot of time like down here.
Then I'm happy to bring that down to a 6 if you think this is kind of plain.
Yeah,
like you guys have been doing this for 10 years.
Anyway, so fundamentally it doesn't really matter if it's 6 or 7. But
yeah,
it's
no,
very nice of you.
That would be 18 or higher, yeah.
So,
and one more 8. With Truff.
You had part of the number.
Yeah, you just need to get that 1 in front of it.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, so I mean, I might just also say we've been doing this for a while. So
yeah, like I'm happy to take it down to a 6 unless this is like the first time you've seen it kind of situation, which you guys probably haven't. It seemed kind of high other for people that have been here for 10 years in the book. Oh no. Yeah, that's about the same rolls as what we expected. So KK, as
Truff,
you're
yeah. You're helping me too?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Truff can kelp everyone but himself. Oh, so close. So close.
6 and
that
15.
Is super close.
Yeah, you were so close.
But you know, she's in here great.
All right, and Truff, do you want to give me that roll? I'm also happy to take an 18 for this from you.
Well, I have intellect defense, which I'll use to knock it down.
That brings
to 18.
it down. Yep.
But then I was also going to ask, I have an ability called Weather the Vicissitudes, which is really difficult to say. But it gives me an additional +1 armor against ambient damage or other damage that would normally ignore armor. Is this some type of ambiance that's just horror in nature?
If this is kind of horror ambiance, it's not doing damage, but I'm willing to take it to bring it down to a 15 if you want to give me that bullshit. You're not getting that second roll, so
that's fine.
I'm happy.
Yes.
Yep.
How about a crisp 19? I'm pretty sure that one just wasn't fully drawn down.
Yeah, no, lovely 19 you had there with all 6 of your points. So Harlan, as you kind of like the beauty of nature and then get into the driver's seat, ready to rev and keep going, your 3 companions start to like reach for their pencils and pens, and they got those, like in the 90s you had those blue bottomed ones, the white tops that had like the 5 different colors you could click through.
Oh my god.
Love those
yes. Yep.
And they all pull those out. They have the Anodyne logo on the side of them just for park employees, and they head towards the fax machine, and you see them just start to pull out all the paperwork that they're going to need, the replacement R&D items from the net Let's see, damage to company property AZ number 345 for the vehicle damage.
I got
was
that one.
repaired.
Yep. I got that one. Yep.
What the hell y'all doing?
Yeah. I'm leaving out the part where I almost turned the vehicle into glass, but I'm gonna write this down.
Mandatory.
I don't want to look
incident
outside.
form.
I don't want to see what they're
Derek's
doing.
got one of the peds.
Oh my god! Yeah, that one. Exactly
It's
that.
awesome.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's so great.
Ready with the props.
Wait. Yo, what are you doing? No, save the paperwork for later. We still got to finish the damn mission.
no.
At least
Well, it's good
15
to have it
minutes of
color
paperwork.
coordinated. It's easy for
Yeah.
reading.
Cannot look outside right now. Nope. Can't watch that anymore. Got it. Nope. Gotta do this. You let us know.
How do you think your mama and your dada made you? Okay. It's
Not with
basically
anyone
the same
watching.
thing.
So I'm gonna do my paperwork and
Well.
give them their privacy.
Given your age, that is a 50-50 proposition. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
Your name's Crystal.
You-
Your mama's name's Amber. Your sister's name is Amethyst.
Yeah.
It was the 60s. I'm just saying, there's a reality that we got to talk about here.
Well, you know what? While you're out there driving, you can
I'm
do well that.
inside driving. That would be very difficult to be driving on the outside.
Well, right, but I'm just gonna keep my
You just all
eyes-
kerfuffled, aren't you?
I'm gonna keep my eyes on this here paperwork, and you can let us know when we are on the other side.
All right.
I'd like to petition for a grit for Truff for actually having the pen in real life.
That's
You
a
know
good
what?
point.
I'm willing it. Truff, you can add to your, if you have a notepad somewhere or something, you can add to your grit pool for that. So +1 grit. I will say, finding the cavern, you guys are also getting +1 grit for new area discovered. So everybody else gets 1 grit. Truff, you get 2 grit.
Ooh.
Awesome.
All right. As Harlan, you rev the engine, the sort of corkscrew wheels start to go, and you aim for that second entry point. And as you start to get down there into this sort of darker, larger orifice, instead of the tight, rigid, throat-like one you were in before, this one more large intestine-like. You got that squishy bounce as you drive, and you can kind of see the walls have a more like sheen and a gooey nature to them. Yeah, exactly like the ones next to your head.
You look really close, you can kind of see a vein.
Yeah, you do see those purple red veins coming through here,
It's
and
like
you're
varicose veins, right?
and you're easily able to see these sort of white mushrooms that start to expand, and you realize it's almost like a vertical drop now. It is deep and dark and fast. Can you give me? We're gonna say this is actually going to be an intimidating driving challenge.
Intimidated. What intimidate? What's the number
Sorry,
for that?
that would be a 6.
All right. Okay. I got driving. So it takes down to 5.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. What I got here. Don't really got any items that really apply, unfortunately. So I'll go ahead and I'll bring it down with some speed. I'll do a little effort, get it down to a 4. So at least I have a okay chance.
All right. Don't
right.
mind me.
What if I say, hey, KK, it's getting kind of hard to see. I need a second set of eyes. Can you come on up here so I can tap into her ability?
Only if you're willing to wait there for 15 minutes while she finishes her favorite work.
Oh, that's right. She's doing her paperwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I got it down to a 4. All right, here we go. We could die. Yeah, we're gonna die.
I'm just going to be blurry for a little bit.
That's a 6.
But you get a second roll, right? Because I can help you.
Well, you're on your paperwork.
Oh wait, no, I'm
You
also
are
doing
also
this.
But
on
I
your
will
paperwork.
spend that grit I just got
Yep.
because I don't want
There
everyone
we
to
go.
die.
Hell yes.
To do it again. Give it a go.
Hey,
Oh,
16.
There we go.
Nice.
So
Nice.
as this vehicle starts to almost like going down a water slide, like slide up and down either side, you grab that wheel, you focus in as if you're in the dojo with Master Steve, and you just like you're
beg your
in the
pardon.
zone.
Dan.
Sensei Nick.
Dick.
Nick.
How dare you.
Nick, that's right.
Melissa was also wrong.
I know.
How can you all not have internalized the name?
Oh, it's just like going
like-
washing over me like water.
Wow.
I'm writing my paperwork and I'm like,
Dan. And you
It's
focus
Nick.
in and you kind of like ride this thing down in a spiral motion as you just have full control, the speed perfect. Everybody that's on, it's back and forth while you're trying to do your paperwork.
I'm using my excellent might skill to stay
Oh.
perfectly still.
Or you just like tense up and you do not move a single muscle while you write.
So much fun. Go down again. Yeah, we're gonna do another one of these.
I don't. I'd rather not fill out another form.
Yes, as you guys kind of like 15 minutes, you guys can finish your forms, you're out of your deadlock, and you can kind of come back up to either the viewing screen of the Mark III or do another activity or talk as you guys head down. This place is pitch black, but you can just see this sort of glistening intestinal wall drive by you. The mushrooms seem to be getting larger, and where they were just like a line against the side of the wall near the top orifice, they are now thicker and wider, and Harlan is having to like skid up the side of the wall and down just to dodge and avoid getting more of those mushrooms attached to him. And suddenly you kind of hear a plop as something seems to like open like a butthole. As
The
you-
famous
It's the
butthole
word we
opening
can say
sound.
on
Yes.
Twitch.
Butthole.
Le butthole. That's
Le
how you say it in
butthole.
French.
Le butthole.
Le butthole.
As you kind of like push through a wrinkly part of the flesh with the screw wheels that doesn't look like a butthole.
Tony has so many jokes. God, it's so hard to not make some jokes. Pushing through wrinkly part of the flesh, part of the boot.
Crystal's mom. I'm just saying, it's like right there. We can see it. Everyone can see it.
As you guys like plop out of this section of intestines after having almost been in free fall for an hour now, and you kind of fall down and realize that you are actually on the recognitive material gastration organ section. There's a reason I had to quickly just look over at that one.
Yes, the endoplasmic reticulum. Yeah.
Yeah, the endoplasmic reticulum. And you can see you're coming through deeper probably than anyone has in this party has been before. And below you can see a blue tissue layer that you're landing on top of. And it spreads out far, just this flat blue tissue in front of you. And the mushrooms also pull through this intestine, and you can see just to the right side of you this beautiful black lake. You can see this fungal growing all the way around it. It's probably a 500 feet across. And it's almost at this perfect circle, and every now and again you can see these bioluminescent lights appear in this black pool as if you're looking at the night sky in the bottom of the PBSO.
Well, that is a mighty fine view that we seem to have found ourselves in here. Quite shiny and reflective.
Yeah, but
Isn't that how like some of those creepy critters like get their prey is by looking really pretty? I feel like that's what we're looking at right now.
That's what 3 of my wives did. What do you think them sparkly things are? Because they ain't stars. They gotta be something else, though.
Well, you've got the binoculars that might help take a closer look at those things.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I could give that a go. I'll get the bow binoculars out. My perception.
Can I support?
Yeah, I'm happy to take support. You guys are all kind of looking at and investigating this pool of black liquid with some sort of bioluminescent lighting going on. I'm going to say this is going to be this would be a formidable role, but obviously KK is instantly being able to help with biology. I already know that that's going to be a key in this, and that would bring it down to a 6. You guys can kind of dogpile on this role and work together to try to figure out what's going on
I
here.
wonder if I might also throw perception on there, or can I only do?
I was going to
one
use
thing?
perception, so like,
okay.
yeah.
I think it's better for Harlan to use
I have
it.
like noticing like that kind of thing.
And then
Same.
does Truff and Crystal have anything to sort of add to this role to lower it?
Nope, sure don't.
Okay.
I'm not so good at
I think
looking
what
at
I add
stuff.
is a free reroll.
Yeah.
That is
So-
fair.
So Harlan's got the binoculars up to his eyes. He's looking, and he's like describing to KK what he sees, so that she can sort of like, deduce what it is. And that maybe that's how it's working. So we're up to
So you started at 7 with biology from KK, perception from Harlan. That brings it to a 5.
binoculars.
Binoculars 4. Sorry. Yep.
All right. So we're down to 4. This is intellect roll.
It is an intellect roll. Yes.
All right. I'll go ahead and I'll put a little effort into this. I'll really describe it with a certain level of verve and vigor.
Very good. Very nice. So that would bring it down to a 3, which would make it a 9 or higher.
All right. Here I go.
All right. Ooh, lovely. Don't
Oh,
even need
man,
to
on a
roll. Beautifully described.
Yes.
KK, you instantly recognize this as a digestive sort of anatomical amalgamation liquid. When the circus
I don't
performance,
think some of those were words, KK. Like too many syllables, I think.
It's just eating things.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Like, when you throw up, it's like the stuff
No.
that comes up when you throw up.
I haven't thrown up since 1947.
Okay, well, the last time you threw up, that stuff.
I had a ginger ale. It was not good.
Isn't ginger ale the stuff you usually drink to like make you feel better? When
That's
you're
what my mama told me, and then
Yeah.
I went and threw up nonetheless. And I'll tell you, when you got to throw up and you're throwing up ginger ale, it ain't tasting so good.
it like bubbles through the nose and kind of.
It came out of a lot of places, Crystal. I'm gonna be
That-
honest with you.
That
So-
is
Came
very
out of a lot of places.
unfortunate. My mama always told me when she like gave me like Emitrol that it was like either it's going to help you not throw up or help you throw up. Like it was this magic thing that would just do either one needed.
Mhm.
She sounds wise. I like to hear that.
Okay,
And
so
she forgets who she was talking to about like, oh, I just made this worse, didn't I?
Tell me more about your mama. Tell me
Oh,
more.
dear.
Tell me
Yeah.
other little wisdom facts that your mom has.
So KK, what you know based on Harlan's description is that this is digestive juices from the PBSO that can melt different creatures into living masses if they enter them. And clearly the fungal colony has entered here and kind of created or evolved into a parasite of some kind, a fungal parasite to the PBSO that's causing you think it's bad for the PBSO. It's causing some sort of damage. Nothing interesting in that cavity up above that you all failed your rolls in. Absolutely nothing interesting. So, but it creates these amalgamations like what you saw with the cow you remember the cows that were amalgamated at the top of it. And then you also, I'll give this to you, weirdly enough, you know that the calcium-based neutralizing agent is a counter to the amalgamation if you have anything that would work as a base kind of chemical to help neutralize it. It can start helping. But as you guys are kind of down here, the car lights illuminating this beautiful pool on the blue tissue, having just left the other one. You also hear a really weird sound in the distance. And then looking over to the other side of the car, you see a mining facility. This is unregistered. You know the anodyne mining facilities. And it's this massive metal structure that's clearly, like, you can see some of the hydraulics digging and pulling out parts of that blue flesh that you know sells very highly on the black market. Don't know what anybody does with it yet. But stop camera. Okay. Okay. I looked down at the recommendations for fixing my camera, and it fixed my camera.
Just the thought of it worked.
Just the thought. I was doing the hand trick all over the place. I promise. I was trying.
Yeah.
Where was I? So yes, you see this giant kind of mining facility, and the weird sound you realize isn't necessarily the mining facility itself, but it's almost like a group of people humming "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and you see a group of maybe 4 or 5 men and women in these black baseball uniforms with what appears to be a painted on tie and a bunch of numbers on the back of them. They're all wearing baseball caps as they come towards you. And the other thing that you would know, KK, just as a part of the black digestive liquids, you do know that this is going to be home to a number of creatures as well as that fungal colony. You know that things live in those digestive fluids. So you've got a few things coming on. The partial PIB baseball team seems to be getting ready to engage with you, though.
So while that is happening, I wonder, and say no because this is kind of weird, but I have one of my prototypes, Cypher's, is anti-venom. One of my skills is Tinker. Yeah. And one of the things with Tinker is you can make a thing behave in a way that it's not initially planned for.
Now,
so I wonder if I might tinker on the anti-venom dip.
We can definitely talk about that, but I believe last session Crystal and you both ended up with like a different projectile weapon, and I think you reworked the anti-venom.
About that.
Yes,
you are so right that we did that. Thank you.
The experimental ray became a fungal disinfectant UV ray.
Oh, it's like I was planning stuff or something. And then KK, do you remember what you got?
I do not, but I'm sorry, I don't have my notes.
Okay, it's okay.
It was something similar.
It was something similar. It was you reworked your anti-venom so that it was to deal with the fungal infection in some way. It was like an antifungal instead, I want to say, but I do not 100% remember either. And I did not write it down either. No, okay, I didn't write it down. Sorry, my bad. But I just wanted to remind you.
It does sound familiar, though.
Yeah, and you guys did rework your stuff to be more part of this situation. So that is going on. That being said, I need some initiative rolls, please.
Oh. Weird. My sheet's just looking weird. I'm gonna read.
God, nat 20.
Nice.
And
the old man cometh.
Wow.
And second nat 20 tonight.
Yeah.
Turn around.
So fucking good.
The Pibs are a secret agent. They've got 15 minimum, so obviously the nat 20 is going to go over it.
Nice.
All right. So
mine's a 10.
That is after. 12 is after. Okay, everybody else is after the Pibs, other than Harland.
Sorry, I haven't rolled yet. I had to
Oh.
restart. My character sheet was looking weird.
Sort. Go for it. Go for it.
All right. Sorry. Is this a mutt roll?
Yes. 14. Okay. Also
14.
after.
Does Nat 20 do anything on initiative, Chef? Like, do you get like a major factor on it?
Unfortunately, I do not believe you
I think I
do.
get 3 actions.
Oh, is that right? Oh, wow.
Sounds about right.
That
Difficulty.
sounds right.
It was
Dude.
either 3 or 4.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it
I'm
was,
sorry,
it was one of the
difficulty
2.
3. Monty Cook
Mhm.
really loves 3s. So
Yeah,
does.
that
Does.
sounds right.
3
true.
attacks, 3 difficulty,
Yeah, totally.
3 damage.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Totally.
That's
Attack.
so amazing that they wrote that
I
down
mean-
in here.
I mean, nat 20s.
Nat
It's
20s.
rare.
What is in this game?
It is when we're rolling.
It is when you're rolling and we've seen 3s and 2s all day. Harlan, Sure, I will give you 2 actions. I'll give you 2 actions
Hell
before
yes.
they go.
Okay, so they're coming up towards us.
So there's
Okay.
5 Pibs coming. Don't drive into them, please. Come out of the
What?
vehicle.
Yeah, I know. No. I'm not, that's a good idea. I wasn't even thinking that because I just assumed we got out.
I'm like,
Okay.
they could. Okay, hopefully the driver.
I wouldn't do that.
The driver's
will-
going first.
He will pull out his bow staff
Yeah.
and he will like kind of turn and then point it in their direction because he remembers they tried to kill his future stepdaughter. So like he's not gonna let that stand.
Was it the Pip or was it the amalgamation that she ran herself into?
It felt like a pip.
Clearly, it
Either
wasn't
way.
her own stupidity. Clearly, it wasn't that.
So he's gonna point at them, and he's gonna point like
Yeah.
over to left field, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he's going to like start. He's gonna start swinging. Like he's just gonna start like conking them with the bow staff, if that's
Lovely.
okay with you.
Oh yeah. Go for it. These
All right,
guys
Like,
are
you're not
here
supposed to be here.
for thuggery
Okay.
and baseball.
All right. So what are we looking at in terms of a difficulty so far?
So
them a
they
swing.
are a 5 to hit. So they're 15
Okay.
or higher.
All right. I have karate
Hmm.
specialized.
So that brings
so
it down to
that's-
2.
Then I've got my
Oh,
bow
yes.
staff.
Mhm.
Should bring it down to what am I down to 2? Should be at 2 now. Okay, and make sure there's nothing else. Yeah, I think that'll do it. So my test.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Come on, boogie.
7.
Yeah, just barely
Oh my
enough.
God, you're lucky you brought it down
barely
to
enough.
2.
I am.
All
I
right.
am.
How much damage do you
Nice,
do
nice.
with your bow staff?
Bow staff is 4 DiMaggio.
All right.
4
Nice.
Joe DiMaggio. Wrong Yankee, but whatever.
Good. Got it. I wouldn't have
For
known
guys, for the people in this group, I did a Babe Ruth thing, was a
Yep.
Yankee. I was pointing to left field. And then Joe DiMaggio,
Yep.
also a Yankee. It's a baseball thing.
I know Joe DiMaggio as Mr.
Same.
Marilyn Monroe.
That's fair.
That's how I know him.
That's definitely fair. Yeah.
that. I'm sure the hardcore baseball part of our audience is gonna love those references.
I love baseball.
Now we
I'm
just
sure
need a
how
Lou Gehrig
hardcore you need to
reference.
be to know Babe Ruth and Joe DiMaggio.
I know
Look
Babe
at
The
Ruth.
spectrum of things.
I know of.
I know.
both of them.
Yeah, I didn't know.
He
The
made
second guy.
he made a good candy bar in his day. All right, I get a second action. So
Yes.
I want to like conk right in the head, and then I want to like spin it around and conk again, and see if I can just like do like a quick double dose
All right.
seckies.
Give
That's
it a
not right.
roll.
Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. Second one. Oh, my
Oh
goodness
shoot.
gracious.
Okay, that's a nat 20. That is a nat 20.
Oh my
So
gosh.
With a natural 20, if the
fire
roll
today.
was a damage-dealing attack, it
fucking
deals
love
4
it.
additional points of damage, or the PC gets a major or
yes.
minor effect in addition to the normal result of the task. Would you like a major or minor effect, or just take the straight damage?
Do we get to like negotiate the major
Uh-huh.
effect, or is it just like you have something in mind? Okay.
Nope, I'm happy to negotiate. I do have something in mind, but I'm happy to negotiate if you have a good idea.
Well, what's your idea? Because I had one too, but what's your idea?
Well, you're using a bow staff. You whap in the head, it's stun. Stun for a
Okay.
round.
I was thinking I could like with the bow staff, just sort of like throw one of them because there's multiple ones, right? There's multiple
Yes.
people here,
There's 5.
and I'm just looking to kind of like throw the body into them like a bowling pin and see if I could just
Oh.
like get them to fall, like let them like knock a couple prone or
Hell
something like that.
yes.
Sure. It's 4. So I'm happy to take that. And then I'm going to say, roll me a d4. We'll see how many you knock over. And then another d4 to see how many additional damage you do to each one you knock over. Does that sound reasonable?
Awesome. Totally. I knocked
One
one
extra.
over.
How much damage did you do the extra one?
Totally fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
4. Okay.
4 damage though.
Good a lot
Ooh.
damage.
Okay. Hey. So the
And how-
There's a
initial
husky
hit-
boy.
So initially it was
Mhm.
still 4 points of damage to the one I attacked.
Okay. Yeah. Another 4
Knocked them,
damage.
knocked. You know, I assume like the guy I hit and the extra one get knocked down, and then the
Yeah.
extra one is 4 damage to him as well.
Yes.
Nice.
Exactly. All right.
Oh, do you see what you get, Carla? Do you see what you get when you mess with the
Exactly.
Oh no. So as Harlan kind of like pulls out the bow staff, gets a windmill going above his head with it and whaps it down, throwing one
Darth Mauling that
pib,
shit. Let's
Darth Mauling that shit. Almost. We can make those references in 2007.
Oh yeah, it did come out in '99. I thought it was
the
'96.
prequels come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
But they
they're
were in
not out yet.
production in
Yeah,
'97.
but nobody knew those references.
The
yet.
concept of
And
Darth
then-
Maul was alive.
The concept of Darth Maul was live, but that fight scene was really what did like the whole.
Got to see when that Darth Maul teaser came out.
Okay, yeah, huh.
Right.
So you throw him into the other guy in the future release of Darth Maul and understanding of that concept, and do a bunch of
George
damage.
Lucas based Darth Maul on Harlan Boone.
He got
Oh,
he got some
wow.
anodyne footage. Yeah, he got some anodyne footage.
Oh man.
Absolutely. It was a little known trip to
Mhm.
Mystery Flesh Pit National Park.
Oh, yeah. You turn
That's
around
a
and see
major
George
effect.
Lucas
Inspiration.
is filming production, like getting ready to do Star Wars. I mean, it looks like another planet down here.
Oh,
Right?
Jar Jar is the key to everything.
So as Harlan is screaming that, the pibs, you see them all start to do things like one of them has this ring on his finger that he rotates and turns towards you, and you realize it's a tiny miniature gun. Another one seems to be holding up his gloves, and you realize there's tiny little needles on them. You see one bend down and grab his shoe, pull his shoe off, rotate it, it turns into a gun. You see another one that pulls like a knife out of his side and he breaks it apart and puts it back together, it turns into a gun.
Man,
What a great first turn for all those guys getting their weapons out. All right, let's
why
get
don't
them
they
now,
just
guys.
bring regular guns? This is so extra.
This is why we don't like pibs. They're
This
so
is what
extra.
secret agents do.
You said one guy turns a ring around. I'm like, oh shit, he's a Power Ranger or something.
It turns into a tiny little gun that he's got on his
form
finger.
of ice dragon.
Okay, hold on. What other like super secret service stuff? One guy like pulls out his hat and you see it's got like a ring of metal on the inside and he's ready to like frisbee it at you.
Oh, he stole that from Mortal Kombat. Okay.
That and also the James Bond movies.
Oh yeah.
I was
yeah.
gonna say I'm
Odd
getting
Job.
major James on minion
Oddball.
vibes.
So you see them do like the most corny, obvious secret service stuff, and then they're going to come and attack you with them. So So I need, let's see, Harland, I'm going to say 2 of them go for you because you attacked them. So they're going to stand up. I'm going to say it's going to reduce your roll against them because you did attack them first and they're like having to get up and everything. So instead of 5, we're going to say this is a difficulty of 3. Like you already took the task down twice by knocking them over. Everybody else, I need a might roll of 15, and I'm happy to hear how you're going to reduce that if you'd like, as a or speed, because they are shooting you. You guys can dodge as well. They're doing thrown stuff at you. I'm happy to take might or speed. What about
karate? Is that I never thought my joke about a Texan who just completely steals Japanese culture would become so useful.
It's very useful in Cthulhu capitalism. Yes, that would bring it down. So instead of a 3, you would get a 2 as a defense.
Because I'm specialized.
Oh, for Pete's sake, yes. All right, down to a 1. So don't roll a 2.
Black belt.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Give me that roll. Everybody
I'm
else
just going to spend the effort. So I've got an edge. It's going to be 2 might spend.
No worries. So that would bring it down to a 4 crystal, I believe.
Passed the first, barely, but I did.
So
I rolled 5s for both, but that's a success for me for both.
Oh my god. All right. You guys
failed. I rolled a 7.
Oh, 7. All right. So Crystal, you kind of like try to dodge out of the way, but your clumsy nature, you slip on this blue tissue intestinal area, and you feel the dude with the needle gloves like grab onto you, and you feel a bunch of tiny little needles pierce as they do some hidden poison damage, dealing 5 speed points to you.
Oh shit. Yeah. That puts me to negative.
I believe it just bleeds over into one of your other ones.
Okay. Then something with the something.
You can definitely drink that heartthrob cola on your turn if you'd like.
You should move yourself down to impaired, I think.
That's what I was trying to figure out, because I think
goes down.
At any time your speed
go into
goes
the combat
0.
tab. In the combat tab, you should be able to move. You should be able to pick a drop-down menu and choose impaired.
I apologize. I see the damage tracker. I just posted it for you guys.
Debilitated is if a debilitated character's speed pool is 0. I'm a little unclear how, like, the definition of like how you get to impaired or how you get to debilitated. But it does talk
every
about
time something goes to 0, one of these effects, one of these damage trackers gets activated. So for you, I believe you're right. It is debilitated for the speed one that goes down. And then if you did characters 3 stats, pools are 1 or higher. The PC has no penalties, harmful, impaired. When a character, okay, I think you're only impaired. You're just impaired. It's debilitated is because usually speed pool is second and might is first. But that would just go to 0 and you would get impaired.
Read the last sentence of the hail section at the very top. When a hail PC takes enough damage to reduce one of their stat pools to 0, they become impaired. So that's how you become impaired.
Lovely.
Okay.
We're learning.
Okay, so I have 2 speed and I needed to take 5.
Yep.
So it comes out of speed first, and then does it have to go to might next?
I would allow you to spread it.
Okay. Because I have 8 might, and if I took 3 from there, that would...
I don't know if that's the right answer, but for our game, I'm going to say you can spread it because we're having fun here. All right, so... You feel that go into your skin and reduce your speed. You feel impaired from this sort of poison that he's injected you with. Truff and KK, how did you do on your rolls?
So I wanted to make a case for I am trained in speed defense. I also have assessing danger and perception. I don't know if
so speed defense, you can use that to bring it down. I'm happy to bring it down to a 4. Perception, I guess, yeah. You guys haven't been doing very well. I'll say the perception works this time. It might not always work, but I'm feeling pitiful right now. Like pitying you right
I
now.
appreciate that.
So you get a pity point.
And assessing danger was the last one, which I'm happy to take instead of perception.
I'll swap out perception for assessing danger and say it's still a 9.
Okay.
Truff, what's
so-
your BS?
Sorry, I thought she hadn't rolled yet.
Oh, well, yeah, I
So-
figured she can roll while we talk. You do get a reroll,
Okay.
I believe, with Truff nearby.
Oh, so wouldn't,
Oh, now one. Good.
wouldn't Crystal also get a reroll? If,
Oh, damn.
Oh. Yeah. So a GM intrusion.
Wait, she has to take the 1? She can't keep the 6?
Oh, yeah, no, she can take the 6. I was just double checking what the GM intrusions were. just in
Oh,
case.
I can take this.
You can take the better
Wow.
of the 2 rolls, yes.
I was gonna say,
Nice.
if you re-roll and you get a worse thing, I feel like that's not helping a friend, more of just like kicking a friend while they're down.
No. You can definitely take the 6. So you're
Nice.
going to take the guy with the mini ring gun points it at you and shoots, and a little like bullet needle pierces you and does 5 points of speed damage to you.
Okay.
And then Truff.
Oh.
Okay, so I have might defense, so I
Mhm.
feel like that's the most obvious thing that will help.
Go for it.
And then I have military body armor, but I think that's just more of like if I get hit versus
Oh, well, that's armor, so it'll reduce the damage incoming. Don't
if I happen to get hit. Although the only other thing I can think of is that I have physical skill in balancing or swimming. I don't know if balancing necessarily helps.
Not in this instance.
Okay, all right. So then it's a 4 might roll.
Yeah, if
Or
you brought
difficulty
it,
4.
it started at 5. You can have brought it down to 4 with something.
Yeah, it was the might defense.
Right, might defense. Then yes, that would be a 12 or higher. You need to roll.
Okay. I'll spend 2 might points
Mhm.
to bring it down to a 9.
Okay. 12. So the guy that used his knife and turned it into a gun, if you've ever watched or played Final Fantasy VIII, he's got some sort of gun blade going on as he tries to shoot and stab at you, but you manage to deflect this.
Amazing.
Good old Squall. Oh, Squall, right?
Yeah, it was.
Can we do the ballroom dancing scene? Can we do that at some point? Because that's
we
like
can,
the best scene.
It is
Beautiful.
we can talk about it if you win your baseball
Me
game.
and Amber.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the Harlem Amber. See it.
We're
As
just gonna be like, oh, hit.
that is everybody. It is Truff, KK, and Crystal. You guys can go in any order. Your turn to retaliate. You see the 2 fellows that Harlan is taking on have been damaged.
So I would like to go first because I want to ask a very important question. Are 3 enemies? We're fighting at least 3 foes, right?
Mhm.
All right, excellent. I'm specialized in perfect setup. So it says
Oh.
if you're fighting at least 3 foes, each one is standing in exactly the right spot for you to use a move you trained in long ago.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
So I can attack
situation.
3 people in one action.
Go for
Hell
it.
yeah.
I'll say you can hit everybody that's attacking you, KK, and
That is
Crystal.
amazing.
Very
You're
nice.
willing.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, I have to make 3 separate attack rolls.
Mhm.
And can we do any bullshitting on the attack rolls, or is it just straight attack?
I'm always happy to hear bullshit.
Okay, I don't know then if
So it is still the 15 for the secret agents, the pips.
just double checking. Is being Are we keeping track of something like weapon break? Like, is that something you keep track of, Kipster? Okay, because that's another skill that I have that just says
It
your
is.
foe's
Sorry. The prototypes I believe have break conditions, and Harlan had a break condition on his medical kit. Certain objects like that will, but like most of your standard stuff probably doesn't have that.
Okay.
There are certain things.
I have another skill that's weapon break, and it's your foe's weapon has a weak spot. In the course of the combat, it becomes damaged and moves down 2 steps instead of 1. But if that's not something we're tracking, I would say because I'm specialized in perfect setup, I think that knocks down the difficulty by 2, right?
Yep.
Because I'm specialized. Would then weapon break just count as a 3rd drop?
I'm
in the
happy
difficulty?
to rule it like that. So instead of 5, that brings you down to a 2, which is a 6 or higher.
Okay.
And we'll do this. We'll roll that argument out for all 3 of them. So roll me 3. Oh yeah, perfect. Oh, a 19 and 2 5s. So one of those hits and does extra damage. So
can I spend grit to make those other 2?
I'm happy if you want to do a grit per die to re-roll those.
Okay.
Hell
Sorry.
yes.
I'm trying to maximize my damages here.
Yeah. Go for it. 11 and 14, those hit. Now your 19 does have a minor effect. If the roll was a damage dealing attack, it deals 3 additional points of damage, or the PC gets a minor effect, aka we negotiate on that minor effect. What are you feeling? Just a straight damage, or do you want to talk about it?
I want to take one out of the fight so that not so many can attack us. So would it be considered a minor effect to like, with the force of my big hammer, to knock somebody in the big black pool of liquid? So they have to like spend their action to get out of it?
Yes, but I'm going to say 2 of your dice rolls for the cost of losing one guy completely. So the 19 and one of your other ones, and I'll knock someone into the black pool, and then then you get to hit one other guy.
I still want to do damage across the board so they're easier to take out. So what if
but
instead...
it fully takes out one guy, so it's a pretty good deal. I think you should take it.
Fully take out one guy and then injure one other guy?
Yes.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
All right, so I'm taking your 19 and like the 11 off the board. You watch as, what's your main weapon, Truff?
It's basically like a big metal pipe with concrete at the end of it, so it's a great hammer, but it's just like something that I picked up in the mine or in the pit.
You see Truff swinging this like what he calls his great hammer into these pibs as if he's hitting a home run. This thing is from the 80s. This concrete is like old concrete, and you see little bits of it float off as one of the dudes is knocked back. He was standing just close enough to the gastric fluids that you watch him kind of topple a bit, and then you watch as these mushrooms, now having someone within their grip, start to roll up his legs, suddenly growing quickly, and you see him start to scream a little bit and like step backwards again, and now he's fully into the black sort of liquid. And you see coming up behind him is a gastric bristleworm, these long, large, orange gastric, usually creatures that are covered in hair that will paralyze him with their hairs and kind of like drag him down to eat later and over time. As you have completely taken one guy out of the fight, the other guy, you are going to do you have a roll for damage for him?
Well, so for the great hammer, it just says damage 6.
Oh,
but
6.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if any of my skills would up that at all. Actually, no, because we dropped the difficulty down. So yeah, just 6 straight damage.
All right, beautiful. 6 straight damage. As you like follow through when you're swinging, just smack into the other guy, watching as he kind of crumples a little bit, his ribs taking the hit. That brings us to Crystal and KK.
So Crystal, okay, I have some bullshittery that I would like to argue.
That's what we're here for.
So I have a skill of breaking things.
Mm-hmm.
I have an ability of scramble machine. So with a cost of 2 intellect points, I can render a machine within short range unable to function for a round, or I can hinder any action by the machine or someone attempting to use the machine for a minute. So it costs an action. So I would like to use my skill of breaking things and my ability of scramble machine and equipment of my bag of light tools to screw with one of these people's weapons.
Sure, like their weird little spy equipment.
Yep, they're weird little spy stuff.
Sure, happy to take that from you. I would say yes, we can make it so one of them can't attack on his turn. Do you need to roll for this, or did you kind of knocked it down to 0?
It's a spend. So
okay.
It's a 2 intellect spend on the ability.
Okay.
So I don't think it needs to be a roll.
Would you like to target one of the people that has been damaged already, that's ganging up on Harlan, or the one that hasn't been hit at all yet?
I would say the one that's ganging up on Harlan so that he can't get hit by this machine thingy.
Sure. All right. So I'm going to mark one of Harlan's guy. Harlan, you see the guy with the hat that has this like sort of blade on it. And you kind of hear a wave of sound as Crystal seems to be pointing this really amalgamation of metal and contraptions that have been shoved together, and is beaming something towards him. And for whatever reason, his hat suddenly becomes magnetic and closes up. And he's like trying to pull it apart to be able to use it again, and he cannot. He is out for a round.
You're welcome.
Harlan gives her a wink and is thus like, family, looks out for each other.
KK, it is your go.
I was gonna do something quite similar, actually. Except I wonder if I might use assessing danger to see which one is has like really intense tech, and then scramble machines to fuck with that tech.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to take another guy out of the round to allow you guys just to beat up on some of the other ones, you can give me that spend. Say that you're aiming for the guy with the gun blade. Seems probably the most high tech out of or the shoe gun probably is also the other high tech one. Arguably. Take your pick.
Which one looks more hurt?
I'm going to say Shogun hasn't been hit at all yet. I believe he was engaging with you. The hat guy and so the hat guy and one of the other ones. The mini ring gun I think was going after Harlan. Truff had the blade gun for Truff, and then Crystal had the glove needles.
Poison needles.
Yeah, poison needles.
Shogun is in my face, so I'll fuck with Shogun.
All right, fuck with Shogun. So you can do that spend. We'll take Shogun out of the next round. That brings us back to the top then. And Harlan, it's your go.
All right. So there's one fella on me who's like kind of out of the fight for this round. Which one of these have I done 8 points to, knocking some sense upside their head?
So the dude that is dealing with the little ring gun seems to be bleeding pretty badly from the face where you've whacked him. And he is not the one taken out. I took the one with the higher HP out of the round for this round.
So he's going to try to finish off the one that is all beaten up. So he will like lift the bow staff in the air, spin it around in his hands, and just kind of move it like this a bit, and then like kick him in the nuts. That's kind of
go for it.
That's gonna work.
That's how we roll at Sensei Nick's karate.
It's a cup check.
That makes sense in Texas.
What was the difficulty again? Sorry, it's been a while.
It's a 15. It's a 15. But with all your karate bullshit, I think you normally had it
bullshit.
Down. Yeah. Bullshit.
You're right.
I think you had it down to a 2 before.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think I reduced it.
Because
like the staff
6.
and everything. Yeah, the staff and everything. Okay.
And specialization.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring it down one more.
Okay.
With some effort. because I have an edge in my. So I'm gonna give it a go.
11.
Just in case.
Yeah, no problem. You hit him handily, and you're doing how much damage against 6?
4. I do 4 damage to his special place as I kick him in the nuts.
Oh, okay, and you watch him kind of
check.
like keel over a little bit, holding his family jewels as he gets ready for his own turn. He does try to retaliate. I'm going to say you hit him in the balls. He's not going to retaliate as well. If you can give me a this is the ring guy, and let's say a might defense of 4, and or all of. Oh, you have the martial defense, so 3.
I have karate. If you're
Karate,
cool with it. Karate
yeah.
specialized. So technically, you should go down 2.
All right, so
Special.
that would bring it to a simple task of 1, I believe, which would
Okay.
be a 3 or above.
All right. I'm gonna rip. I'm gonna risk. Oh, I got 3.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, good point. Good thing that you argued that karate point. The other guy that's still kind of active is the one on Crystal, I believe. Glove guy is the only other one. Crystal, why is it always you?
This could be bad.
This could be bad. I'm gonna say, do we finish you? No, we're gonna go after Truff. Truff just like knocked his
Well, I was
friend.
gonna say I can skip my turn by using an ability called Devoted Defender,
Mhm.
which makes a character become my ward, and I'm trained in protecting that character among a lot of other things.
I'm gonna say that because you knocked his friend, he was gonna go for you anyway because you knocked his friend into the black pool and you're the greater threat. Crystal's not rolling so well. So he is going to try to attack you. That is a speed check of 15, unless you have some bullshit.
Well, I've got. Oh, that's might defense.
As he tries to grab you with his grabbing hands.
So, intellect defense is used for fending off mental attacks or anything that might influence one's mind. Pain influences somebody's mind.
No.
Yeah,
no.
it does.
It does.
I have to register
but-
the pain.
In
Not in
Kipser's
this
defense, Harlan does not let pain affect his mental state.
There you go. Harlan doesn't do it, so clearly.
I
you
also
can't.
have physical skills and balancing, so I can balance the amount of enemies that I can fight at once.
Oh yeah.
I also
okay,
have a
great.
bunch of nerve damage from my time in Korea, so that could be why I don't feel pain either. Oh dear!
Wait, can I spend grit to re-roll this
Yes.
or effort or something?
Yeah, you can spend grit to re-roll this. Yeah.
That was
Wow.
amazing, everybody.
I
You
don't
guys
want
are
to.
not going to have any grit left.
We're
12
so close
is
to a
good.
20. Did you see that?
So as you kind of like watch as this gloved guy comes and turns away from Crystal to try to grab you with his grabby hands, you manage to like grab him by the wrist as he wiggles his fingers towards you, but you manage to keep him like away from you enough that it doesn't connect. That does bring us to Truff, KK, and Crystal. You can retaliate.
Crystal will try to go after this guy that left her to go after Truff.
Yep.
In all fairness, though, I have an inability in hand-eye coordination.
Yep.
So
that would bring you to a 6 or a
There's-
5.
that,
Use your foot. That's neither a hand nor an eye.
Mm-hmm.
but I have a knife. So not entirely
You
sure.
also have a
Are you
thing
also
that
gonna make a
will
knife gun?
burn through metal, a prototype that burns through metal that probably doesn't do great things to flesh either.
Like a blowtorch?
Oh dear.
No,
I
not a
mean-
blowtorch. I believe it's a liquid.
It's a foam.
It's a foam.
It's like a can of shaving cream that you spray. Like I'm imagining like the Barbasol style of like
Painasol?
Have you drink your
But
cola
it-
thing yet?
it affects metal to a depth
she
of 6
hasn't.
inches. That sounds awful painful. I'm just gonna try to stab this
Okay.
human being
fair
and
enough.
not spray this.
You did already
awful
kill
stuff at
one of
them.
these pibs, but yeah, go for it.
I'm eased with a light weapon. I don't know that matters in a roll necessarily.
We eased it, so it should reduce the roll, no?
So difficulty of attack is eased.
Yeah, so then it would go back to a 5 from a 6.
Okay, and then I'll spend 2 might.
Okay, that brings it to a 4, so you need 12 or above.
Ugh.
Oh,
Sure,
dear.
if you told me where to aim, right? I'm aiming in the wrong spot. I gotta avoid the armor.
Yeah, you want to aim for center of mass, not for the toe.
Oh, yeah? As she,
that's
like,
right.
completely dodges that area with her
I'm gonna try
weapon.
Roll this again.
Yep.
I went from a 7 down to a 4. So
Dude.
That was the other
completely
toe.
Oh, dear. All right.
Whiff on
So
this.
that brings us to Truff or KK. Do you guys...
There's still 3 of them left, right?
There are 4 of them left, and
All right.
2 of them are just kind of unable to do anything this round.
It sounds like I've got another perfect setup in me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna do 3 attacks again. I'm gonna spin my hammer around like one of those
Hell
like
yes.
sign guys that's doing all
Great.
that crazy shit, spinning it on my back.
Lovely.
Flare.
Give it to me. Give me those
All right.
3 rolls.
Yep. I gotta change this 1 to a 3 real quick.
Um.
How am I rolling so many doubles? It's genuinely impressive.
Also terribly. Rolling terribly poorly.
Well, remember it's reduced by 2 because perfect setup is specialized, and then weapon break also reduces, so it's down by 3.
So
I
it
think-
did. Okay, so you did need a 9 or above. So I believe
So I
you
just
did.
met on all of them.
No, you rolled a 2.
Nice.
But
Oh.
there's
You did
it said
9, 9, 2. 2 is
Yeah,
not
you
going
did
to
a
hit.
9 and 9 and a 2.
Nice try though. One of
Wait,
those does not
it is
hit.
a 2. I'm sorry. I'm so
It's okay.
confused. I was looking at the 2 rolls above, and I was like, "What?"
No.
Okay, yeah.
So one of them
Because you did roll
misses.
doubles
Yeah.
in the 9.
You did roll doubles. And how much damage are you doing? 6 damage with this?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say Harlan, that dude with the ring is just gonna get whapped in the side as a hammer starts to spin around, and he's going unconscious. You hit the guy both ones that are engaging Harlan, and then the other guy is nearly down. All right, lovely. So you badly bloodied two of them. And then the other guy you straight knocked out. He's on the ground flat. KK, what is your kind of final action for this round?
I wonder if I might use my tinker on the shoe gun.
Okay.
And specifically, I would like to turn the gun into I'd like to block up the barrel, so that when he goes to fire it blows his leg off.
Sure. All right. So this is more of an intelligence roll attack. I'm going to say it's still obviously the 15. And the because of the time that you're going to spend, I don't think you're using your tinker tools as a weapon. I don't think they're going to reduce the action like they were before.
Okay.
But I'm happy to hear
So,
if you have anything else to reduce it with.
I feel like the good old pocket sand, just so he can't aim.
The person with pocket sand or dirt is Harland, as is
I
well
do
established.
also have hand to eye, which is
Oh, that would reduce it to 4,
okay. Sweet.
which is just a 12 or above, which is completely manageable, I think. Except for today when you guys are rolling.
I don't think
So
I
badly.
have anything
So
else.
badly.
Okay. Let's see what I got.
It was almost a 16.
sweet.
Truff can help you re-roll that real quick.
Cool.
He just like
Thank you.
readjusts your hand on the side.
still-
Do you mind, Truff?
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah, go
spinning
for
my
it.
hammer around.
One more roll. 2. As unfortunately, you get your tinker tools in there, and the guy just like turns it back to a shoe, and like an angry mother with a sandal starts whacking your fingers away, and you have to you can't get like your hand in there to do it anymore. As he just like smacks your fingers away.
I'm getting like immigrant mother trauma flashback.
Yeah. The most mighty of tools, the shoe.
I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah. So as you guys kind of do that, you see the Pibs are going to, the 3 remaining standing Pibs are going to quickly grab their guys. So you have knocked out one of them is completely gone, and then you have the guy in your trunk. So you got 3 of them out, and they're going to grab and they're going to start just running away. You guys then they'll start yelling about the time, and you look at your watches and realize you have to get into your Mach 3 and get to that baseball game, or else you guys are going to be disqualified. So you race back into the car because we have no time left in this stream, and you start driving. You start driving up. Harlan, just give me like a challenging drive roll to see how good and quickly you can get out here.
All right, I got the drive skill. Okay, what I always forget what's challenging again.
Sorry,
I don't know the names. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. The only reason I'm saying the names is because I've got that table just to my left. It's a 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 15.
Okay. All right, so driving, we'll bring it down to a 4.
Yes.
I will do a speed effort to take it down even further, down to a 3, so I have a definitely decent chance. 15.
Perfect.
There we go.
All right, so
nice.
As you guys like quickly like buckle in, Harlan starts revving it and nearly drives vertically straight up that butthole that you were out of earlier. You realize you're going to have to deal with this fungi, but at a later date when something not so important is happening. As you drive through that cavity with the meadow fungi, you realize that the little balloon things in the air are actually hydrogen bombs. They're a macrobacteria that just kind of floats around harmlessly unless somebody ignites it. And, fire's really bad for mushrooms. Anyway, you keep driving because you didn't notice that at all. All the way up, back out Farmer Jenkins' little orifice hole and onto your flatbed truck. You make sure that all the documents that you wrote and have ready to help deal with this at a later date are perfectly in order. Harlan books it straight back to the national park, and you sort of come over the horizon into a quickly made baseball field that you've turned the national park into. You see the crowds from Gumption just all the way around, the smell of barbecue, hamburgers, hot dogs, steaks, everything is kind of just to the side for food. Everybody's kind of sharing and yelling, and you see the lead park supervisor looking down at her watch and then looking over at you guys. You see a bunch of 3 bloodied kind of nosebleedy guys run by you that you recognize wearing the black uniforms, but some of them have been thinned. As you hurry into your own park uniform, baseball uniforms, this sort of park green baseball shirt with the yellow numbering on the back of it. You guys have one chance. We're going to say if you would like to try to hit a baseball or try to catch a baseball. If you succeed in this roll, we're going to mark it towards your team's success. If you're failing at this roll, then we're going to mark it towards your team's sort of failure. We're going to, because you've taken out some of the Pibs, we're going to set the challenge at 5. So we've been dealing with 5s all day, and I'm happy to have spends. I'm happy to have re-rolls with grit, and let's have it out at the baseball diamond and see how you do. And before we introduce Harlan to NKK to the rest of Crystal's family, Crystal, you see your mom, your sister standing in the stands, kind of like clapping, ready to cheer you on if you do well. All right, so what kind of baseball skill or not baseball skill that you think you can kind of apply here, and I'm happy to hear all of it. Any sort of tools that you think you can then get away with using as cheating, as long as you don't get caught, is very accepted. And some of you guys have PBSO abilities that you haven't used yet.
I have an idea.
Yep.
If no
Go
one
for
else
it.
does. Arlen wants to use his stealth skill to steal home. Maybe he gets on third base. And he's just kind of looking up at Amber, and she had no idea who the hell he is right now. But he just kind of looks at her, and he's just like, "Watch this." And,
all right, so that's stealing is going to be speed. With stealth, that brings it down to 4.
I'm going to say that before we got out here, I cranked my cola so I can get some more points into my stealth.
Oh, absolutely. You guys can chug.
Okay. That's enough. All right, that's 4. Okay, so I'll then use like some effort to bring that down again. And then, okay, trying to see if there's anything else that would be useful in this case. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything else I can use. So am I down to 2?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. All right, here we go.
Letter print. 19. Special minor effect. So you just tee up with your minor effect, hitting the baseball out of the field beautifully. You run around because you rolled a 19. You steal first. You get to second. You steal second. And you get to third. You also steal that one. And then you also steal home plate as you carry these off field with you. And nobody even knows what the fuck just happened.
So good. You steal all the bases.
You've stolen all the bases.
I steal all.
With a 19, I gotta give you something extra.
You've been rolling fire.
You know what I'm gonna steal next?
Dude, it's so good. It's so
Amber's heart.
All right, KK, Truff, Crystal. How would you apply any of your skills, your random mutations or skill sets to baseball?
I wonder if I might use lab analysis, which is 3 intellect points, to better assess wind speed and where the ball's gonna go.
Okay.
And hand eye to actually do the thing.
Okay.
So that's a speed spin and an intellect spin.
Okay. Sure. And then we'll call that a 3, which is a 9 or above with those spends.
Okay. And I will happily grit reroll if I fail.
Yep, you get a reroll. Poor KK has not rolled above a 5 this session.
That's pretty typical for me. Honestly. So my computer is being.
Oh, do you need us
stupid,
to roll
so
for you?
Yeah, would you mind?
Not a problem.
I have frozen.
I might have better luck than you. I got a 12.
Actually.
You succeeded.
Oh, nice.
So you
nice.
Stick your finger.
You succeeded.
Yeah, I've got pretty good dice. Like you stick your finger in your mouth and get that wind effect. You in your mind, you've got the math equations all going through, and you're in your mind palace. You grab your bat, you hit.
And I just really want to impress after this. So
you hit towards the audience stands where Crystal's family is. The arc beautifully precise, and then you run around. You realize there's not any bases to run across, but you run to the areas. You can see the hole where they would have put the cushions.
Arno, what the fuck?
What the fuck? And you keep going. You get back home. You cheer. You went first, Jeff. You stole them all.
I'm laughing because you don't understand what stealing a base means in baseball.
Oh, I do. I'm pushing it up. I played
really
baseball for 5 years, to be fair. I understand, but I choose to ignore my understanding.
Be literal.
That's pretty good.
I love it.
Because you said he hit a home run, and then you steal the bases along the way, and I'm like, this is illegal.
Yes, I know. I am very aware of how many
I'm wearing
breaking.
I'm wearing a Flava Flav necklace now.
Baseball is one of the only
Amazing.
sports I legitimately played. I was
It's fun to play,
always
horrible to
put
watch.
in the field at the very back end, but technically I played it. unless they were feeling pity for me because my dad was coming down, and then they let me be catcher.
Amazing.
Yeah, no. All right, Truff and Crystal. There's understanding and there's choosing to ignore anyway for
All right.
comedy.
I feel like this is my new bread and butter.
Yep.
We're playing a game. There's at least 3 foes. I have the perfect setup. So I'm specialized in this. When you're fighting another team, they're your foes.
Yeah. All right.
So that drops the difficulty by 2. But also, I have an ability that's literally called Control the Field.
I think that makes sense.
I am the field.
So that will bring it to a 2 difficulty. So that is a 6 or higher.
Okay, perfect. Watch me roll this 1. Can I spend grit?
Yeah, you can definitely spend grit to reroll.
I don't know how much. Let's see. I spent 3, so I think I had I have 5 left.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Oh, there you go. 10, just barely. So it's a little bit rough at the start, but you hit that ball and you watch it bounce between 3 heads before it kind of like rolls across the line as they scramble towards it. And you manage to just like get around the bases before you slide home, stealing home.
No, the only thing left is the pitcher's mound. I steal that.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah. You do a drive-by as he's like grabbing his nose from the ball that you just smacked into him, and you just like pull that little rectangle thing that they stand on off and like just run off with it. Crystal.
All right, so if we can say that we are currently in the lead and it's bottom of the 9th.
Yes. Very good. We can definitely say that. You guys are doing really well. So we can definitely say that.
So it probably doesn't make sense. We'll say that they're home. So I'm trying to make sure that works.
We can do bases loaded if you want.
And they're last up to go. And so what I want to do is I have like horrible hand-eye coordination, balance, and all of those other things. But I am going to say that we're using metal bats. And I'm going to say that I'm going to spray metal death on the bat of player before he goes up. He or she goes up to make sure that that player is not going to be able to hit the ball.
Okay, lovely. I'm going to say you can give me, we're going to do I'm going to give you an intelligence because I know speed is not your forte. And I'm going to say
0 at the moment, actually.
Yeah, I know. I'll say it's an intelligence to like sneakily do this, and you're going to be like standing in the field, having already preset these baseball bats ready to catch anything that goes through. Give me that difficulty. I guess with that prototype, it goes down to a 4 to use that. So that would be a difficulty 12, unless you have so many other arguments you'd like to throw in. I'm happy to take intelligence spends as well.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to do that. I'm gonna have to spend the full 3 because I am impaired, which means effort costs an extra.
Right.
So that means it would be a
9 or higher to roll.
Yeah.
I'll spend 5 to drop it 2.
All right. Then that would be a 6 or higher on the roll.
All right. I've got to be able to do this.
Jesus
of course, I roll a 5.
Do you want to spend some of your grip points to re-roll that? The audience could be like donating some grip points to you guys.
By the way, it's
incredidible how much we bullshit to reduce it down, and the dice are just like,
I know.
5. That's all you get.
I know. 6. Oh my god! You guys watch Crystal like struggle a little bit as you can clearly see her coding like. She's wearing just like a black bandana around her head and a striped shirt for the very moment when she's just doing this little burglary, coating their bats and like then running back to the field. And you watch as all of the bats for the Pibs, as they come out one after the other, metal bats are hitting the balls, and then the bat itself is cracking in half,
turn into glass,
and just falling apart in their hands. And the Empire is just like out, as Crystal just cheers in the back end, and her family politely clap for her having done a good thing. And
I helped.
you did it after a little struggle, but a little obvious, but you managed to do it as you guys defeat the Pibs in the Gumption biannual baseball tournament on the 4th of July. And then afterwards, you guys head out to the audience, the crowds. Everybody's kind of like cheering you and throwing you up in the air, the whole team up in the air. You get your burgers, you get your fries and your hot dogs, and then the firework, as the sun goes down, the fireworks show starts as you kind of like chill out on the field around the park at the end of the day on the 4th of July in 1997. And this is where we will throw it to Jeff to close out.
Whew. That's
Sorry
crazy.
for
We did
the
it.
marathon
That's
run at
crazy.
the end.
Hell yes.
All right. Awesome. That's great. Let's do our plugs. So I'm gonna toss it over to My Tray first. My Tray, where can we find you on the internet?
My plays games on YouTube where I make system agnostic or multi-system content about tabletop set centers, EGM, and play experience. So you should check it if you feel like checking out.
Awesome. Very awesome. Let's see. As for us, let's talk first about old Huckleberry. Our dear friend Steven has been making a game called Huckleberry. It's a Weird West RPG. You can find it at huckleberryrpg.com or over on Drive Through RPG. You can try out the Quick Draw Edition. In a couple months, it's going to be up on BackerKit. You can back it for your own fancy, awesome copy of it. So you can try it now. As for streaming scheduled, next game we got up is Thursday. We're playing through some Swords of the Serpentine. Friday, we've got a Dragonbane game, as Aaron's going to run us back through that. It's been a couple weeks for that. Saturday, we should be over in Call of Cthulhu land. Monday, we've got Time Watch, and then we'll back on Tuesday with more Tourist Trap. I should also say thank you to Laugh Love Lindy for the raid. Did we get any others, Melissa? I noticed that one, but I couldn't remember if there were any others I should call out.
I think that was it. Thank you.
Darn it. I wasn't ready. Okay, I am going to put us on the end screen and I will carry the raid forward. And yeah, we'll see y'all later. That's it. Thanks for watching.
Good game, all. I never
Bye.
The rubber.
the little
Trust I
rubber.
hear stealing rubbers.
Yeah.